morning. Welcome to another episode of Beyond the Pulpit. As you all well know, today is our 80th anniversary for our church being here in the Bloomingdale area, and it's a remarkable feat. But the reason we have that is because we have great people that have been with us for years and years, and one of them is Mabel Davis. And I want her to tell her story about how long she's been here and what's been going on with her.
Well, I was brought up in a Methodist church, but I married a Baptist, and we moved to Bloomingdale in 1957.
Okay.
No, it was 56. And so we started coming to Bloomingdale Baptist. And Miss Clark was my teacher, and at that time, our classroom at one time was in the basement, and one day when we went in, as a puddle of water on the floor where it seeped through the wall, and there was a frog, so the frog got a Sunday school lesson that day too.
Well, we have down that you actually joined the church in June 11th, 1961. So you started teaching sometime right after that, or down a few years
several
ago.
years after that.
Yep.
She had a heart attack, and so I filled in until she came back.
Mm-hmm.
And it was still Miss Clark.
Right.
And so then she died in 70, and David Fugit was the superintendent of Sunday school at that time, and he came to me and asked me what I considered taking her class. And so it was a big class, and our class grew. And
y'all did a lot of stuff for the church, I understand, in your class. I know my mom was a member of your class.
Yes, and we had a good time doing it too. And yes, we fed the singles, the widows and widowers for several years. Our class fed all of them, and it was a big job. But Sue Phelps is in our class, and she'd tell us how many turkeys and how many hams and the different kind of food that we needed to, and so we can get it all together and feed them. And we'd even have our spouses would deliver some of the food to the shut-ins. So I would say that it was way over 75 that came in and ate with us, plus ones that was shut in.
That is wonderful.
And we had all these, we'd have parties. Our class, they always did the work, and that left me where I could study my Sunday school lesson. And so they took care of we had a secretary and treasurer and different groups in our church. And we had tacky parties, and we had parties, picnics at the shelter. So our class was a wonderful class.
Over the years, it's been very active.
But now they have died off till our class is very small now, and I guess a lot of people don't want to come in it because it's the last class.
Yeah.
So
you've also had a teacher that's been your assistant for you for a long time.
Yes, I have, and Harold, first I would ask him to come in and have a special teacher to come in. He would come in and teach our class. So eventually it turned into Harold teaching one Sunday and me teaching the next.
Sunday.
So when I had cancer, Harold taught the class, and then later when I had open heart surgery, Harold taught. But then since then, both of us have had physical problems, and one of the others would have to take over.
Still are together now.
We're still together teaching, yes.
I heard that you even had an issue to where you had to lay down in the back seat of the car. You tell me if it's true or not.
I did.
Then you would come into Sunday school, stand up and teach because you had a broke back. Then you would get back in the car, lay down in the car, and go back home. Is that true?
That's true. I couldn't stay for church because I couldn't see it. Had to either stand or lie down. So
that is dedication. And that's what keeps Bloomingdale Baptist going. That's why we're here for 80 years, and we're going to continue on for the next 80 years because of people like you.
Thanks.
I just want to thank you very much
for
being with us this morning. Hope you have been blessed by this testimony and this great woman, and I know you've been blessed on her teaching. Y'all have a great morning.